All right, welcome back to the Scare Value Podcast. Pete, it's time for our second annual summer movie preview spooktacular or whatever it's called.
Did you know that record and record are spelled the same way?
Nope, just learned it now.
Bringing in knowledge.
Before we bring our special guest on, we have to get to a quick bit of business from last week's episode, Final Destination, when you asked if it was directed by James Wan. It is directed by James Wong, which means I think you've unlocked a very new level of racism that doesn't even involve seeing a person.
Here, I was close.
You can't tell apart Asian names.
No. Listen here, I was 2 letters off.
Yeah, I don't need to hear your racist defense.
Whatever.
Just know I would never, ever say something offensive like that about any race, religion, or nationality. That will definitely not happen in a future episode that I've decided to leave in. So everyone's been warned.
Anyway, I also have an update from the Final Destination episode. I talked to Mark after we did the episode, and he said that lady who played the teacher, she did something.
Oh, this is another great update.
Wait, no, she was married to a producer, so I guess she did him.
Oh, nice. You want to talk about our guest?
I can't believe that she hasn't talked for herself yet. This is the longest that you have ever been allowed to go uninterrupted when the three of us are on this episode thing. I know words.
Maybe it's because we're recording separately.
I'm not allowed to be in the same room as you, I've been told.
Why?
Yeah, by a judge.
Oh, a judge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, school children.
Well,
Yes,
I debated hitting the leave button because that's an option.
Leave? Like a tree?
Leave, yes, like a tree.
Well, let's make like a podcast and get out of here.
Okay, bye.
2 bits.
Kitty's here. I don't know why Pete refuses to.
Maybe if you say Pete's wife is here, then he'll acknowledge it.
Hey, Kitty, when did you get here?
Don't know. Pete, why don't you have your camera on?
Because I don't have a microphone or a thing to look at. Like, I'll put it on, but you guys will just be staring up my nose the whole time. And I have not trimmed my nose hairs anytime recently. They've just seamlessly melded into my beard. I don't know which one's a nose hair and which one's a beard hair. One of them might even be a chest hair.
What does it have to do with your microphone, though?
Because I have to talk into the phone a certain way, so I can't look at it. So you'd be looking up my nose. And I have treasures up there.
Golden ones. Yeah, hi, guys.
For anyone who hasn't heard a previous preview episode, we do one in the fall for spooky season. And we do one in the summer now because horror movies have become big business again, and Hollywood's remembered that they make money. So we have a summer loaded up with big releases.
I know what you did last summer. It was another one of these podcasts.
I can't tell if that's clever or stupid. That's peak Pete right there.
I feel like we should record live sometimes so people could see our faces when he makes those jokes.
I don't think that was a joke.
Oh, he's laughing. That means it was a joke.
I don't agree with,
Only he found it funny. So.
Yeah, that's true.
But I agree with Brian. I don't think that was a joke. I was just like stating a fact. And that's funny to me.
Well, we have lots of movies to get to, and we bring Kitty on for this one specifically because I fall in love with all of these horror descriptions, and Pete just usually goes along with whatever, and then Kitty's like, no, that sounds really stupid. And we have a perfect example, the Night Swim killer swimming pool movie. I read that description and I said, boy, that sounds good. And Pete's like, that could be good. And Kitty's like, yeah, it's going to be terrible. And then I saw the movie and Kitty was right. So we need a grounded perspective on what these movies are. Because I don't think there's a thing that they could give me, a synopsis they could give me that I wouldn't be like, ooh, that has potential. I can't see through them.
Yeah.
My recollection is that we're woefully off when we think we project our own ideas of what these synopses mean. Like the When Evil Lurks, we thought would be a kind of a buddy comedy where they lose a corpse and bumble their way through a zombie apocalypse.
I maintain that was the funniest plot summary I've ever read. And then I saw the movie and I was like, oh, it is the opposite of what I thought. So maybe Kitty can decipher if any of these are going to be good. 'Cause
Right.
God knows I won't get it right.
Yeah, we're nowhere close. And apparently we're way off on our interpretation of the accountant.
Yeah, I know. I'm not disappointed by it, but it's so interesting because I don't know what else it could be.
I was wrong about the coffee table, though. You said that one was actually good.
It was because it was not doing what we all assumed it was doing.
Yeah.
But I think that's because it was an independent movie from like Spain or something, so they didn't feel beholden to make a stupid movie like we do in America.
Yeah.
They just made a movie that hurts for 90 straight minutes. All right. Before we get to movie theaters, though, we have a big release coming this Friday on Netflix. The new installment of the Fear Street series, which I don't think either of you have seen the other 3 movies.
No.
I have not.
But I'll read the plot summary here. When the It girls competing for prom queen at Shady Side High start to disappear, a gutsy outsider discovers she's in for one hell of a prom night. I think this is a 1980s based slasher movie for teens.
Yeah, why not? That's a fun summer slasher.
It's based on a 1992 novel by R.L. Stine, who wrote the whole series. And Pete said he's read some of that series.
I have. The Beast from the East. The Camp Death or some such thing. Ghost Camp, maybe. I don't know.
So is Jack Black going to be in it?
He
No,
should be.
he's not
What?
in any of these movies.
I'm out.
Well,
Oh,
that's
that's
like Goosebumps.
who would he play? The feisty outsider running for
Yes.
prom queen?
Yes.
You know what? I can see it.
He'd win, too.
I could see it. He played R.L. Stine, right, in Goosebumps?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Okay. I understood that reference.
Yeah,
Justin Long is in some of the Goosebumps, too.
he is.
I saw the first one. I don't think it was bad. But that doesn't sound right because Jack Black's in it. So I'm confused. Maybe he was just bad in it and I didn't hate the movie. No, I don't think I did
Nope.
hate him in that movie.
That's not possible. Jack
The
Black
first
is never
Goosebumps?
bad in anything.
He's talking about Justin Long
No, I'm talking about
Being bad.
Jack Black.
being bad
Yeah.
in a movie.
Any movie, pick one.
He's good in all movies.
And
Yeah.
he's terrible in all of them.
Oh, again, he has a beard in some of them, and he has a wild, crazy beard in the others.
That's true. I saw the trailer for that Minecraft movie that I know you went and saw. And when he pops up clearly in front of green screen, just completely unkempt, I was like, he just phoned this one all the way in.
I
Like,
told
literally.
you. But he doesn't. He was so excited to be in front of that green screen, kicking and shouting and
How much
rolling
cocaine
around.
do you think he's on a day-to-day basis?
0. I think that
Really?
is all Jack Black all the
Yeah.
time.
You're just trying to make up for your offensive James Wong.
Tell you,
That's when I almost hit the leave button when he did that.
that's one of them pseudonyms these people have these days, like Stephen King had when he was Dick Bookman.
Okay. On May 30th.
It was actually Richard Bachman. See, I was making a clever thing there.
May 30th.
On May 30th, in theaters, from the directors of Talk to Me, comes Bring Her Back. A brother and sister uncover a terrifying ritual at the secluded home of their new foster mother, starring that woman who fucks the fishman in The Shape of Things, or whatever it was called.
Oh, The Shape of Water, which I also didn't see, but I know names.
The Water Boy.
That is Fairuza Balk.
That is. She was in The Craft. Now we're back to horror.
Is she dead?
No.
I'm in. I like Talk to Me.
It's
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the mystery movie this Monday, so I'll know very soon if it's good.
Ooh, how exciting.
Tomorrow even, I'll know. I assume it will be good.
Yeah, it doesn't sound bad.
Talk to Me was great.
It sounds like very typical. You know, the foster mother's always a bad guy, murdering people in the backyard.
Not always.
I saw the trailer at the theater. I think it's about the kids trying to do some witchcraft to bring back a dead parent. But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
They're gonna bring back that girl from Talk to Me.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Right?
Look,
It's a whole thing. It's
it's
a shared universe.
So,
They know they're making a sequel to that at some point. Maybe this is a secret sequel.
yes.
A secret prequel sequel.
These guys used to make YouTube videos, and then they made Talk to Me, and it was like, it blew up huge. So good for them. And now they got another movie coming to theaters on May 30th.
Well, and let's see how it does.
Yeah.
Take that. Is it coming to theaters or Netflix?
That's going to theaters.
Oh.
Everything else I think I have here is going to theaters. I just included the Fear Street one because people like the Fear Street movies.
Mm-hmm.
They were pretty good.
I have not seen them.
They have Jack Black. They're going to be good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jack Black plays the prom queen.
Yes.
Hey, all right. So we got to keep a tally of how many Jack Black movies are coming out this summer because those are the ones I'm going to prioritize.
Is he going to beat Nick Cage or no?
No. Two different animals.
Well, this says a brother and a sister and their foster mother. That's 3 plum roles for Jack Black.
Right.
He could do them all, like a clump situation.
I'm waiting. Oh my God. When that movie comes out, I will be the happiest boy in all of movie land.
And we got 3 movies hitting theaters on June 6th, which seems like a bad idea for all of these movies.
Well, what are they?
What's special about June 6th? Is it like...
I don't know. Just everybody got this release date.
Everybody got that date? Okay.
First, we have The Ritual, starring Al Pacino and Dan Stevens from The Guest.
The Guest? I don't even know what that is. It's a movie, I think. I've given up. You always say The Guest like it's something I should know, but I never know what it is. And at this point, I'm afraid to bring it up because I think you're going to give me that disapproving look.
Did he watch it?
The Guest?
Mm-hmm.
No. 10 years now. Over 11 years, you won't watch it.
It's going to go on my list of movies to watch without Pete.
It's great.
And then me and you can talk about it, and Pete can still be clueless.
The plot synopsis for this one reads, 2 priests, one in crisis with his faith and the other confronting a turbulent past, must overcome their differences to perform a risky exorcism. It's every exorcism movie ever.
Are they behind a bush?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are they in a pear tree?
Are they naked as nature?
Are they one behind the other?
I feel like I'm not getting something.
It's okay.
You clearly never saw the movie Rasputin on HBO starring Severus Snape himself, Alan Rickman.
I believe from a trailer I saw, this is based on the case that The Exorcist was based on. So they just tried to find a literal way to remake The Exorcist.
Oh, so they're not actually exorcising demons from each other.
I don't think so. I think there's a girl and she's possessed, and we have the old priest who's experienced at it, and the young priest. It's exactly The Exorcist is what I'm getting at.
All right.
But if you don't like that one, we have 2 more movies on June 6th.
Are they about exorcism?
Neither of them are, I don't think. But one of them does look fun to me. It's called Danger. And Kitty, you can tell us if I'm right or not, because I have no way of judging if this is correct or not. It's called Dangerous Animals. When Zephyr, a savvy and free-spirited surfer, is abducted by a shark-obsessed serial killer and held captive on his boat, she must figure out how to escape before he carries out a ritualistic feeding to the sharks below. It looks like it has a really unhinged performance by Jai Courtney of the Suicide Squad, Captain Boomerang. I see him out there with his shirt off, just like dancing and feeding girls to sharks, and I'm like, yeah, this looks pretty good.
Yeah. I can get behind that.
Yeah, like those priests.
Yeah.
I got to play in your fun game, even though I still don't know what you were talking about.
You'll have to watch the movie. I never watched it. I just heard Pete say that enough.
I've never watched it either. I've just heard my mom say it enough.
Rasputin?
All right.
Russia's Greatest Love Machine.
No, I'm on board for that movie. I don't think it's going to be good.
You don't want to be off board. The sharks will get you.
It was directed by a guy who made a really fun independent movie in 2009 called The Loved Ones. And I don't know what he's really been up to since then, but that movie had like this wild energy to it. So if you can put that into Jai Courtney feeding victims to sharks, I'm kind of into it, I think.
Yeah. I'm on board.
But if that one's not your style, on June 6th.
No, wait, no. But hold on. Like, when is Shark Week? Because they should, it'd be smarter for them to release this during Shark Week.
When is Shark Week? I'm looking it up.
You should be in charge of all release dates.
I should be in charge of marketing for this movie.
Well, Shark Week this movie comes out June 6th. Shark Week begins July 6th.
They got to wait a month.
2 letters off, just like me.
Why would they wait a month when they can release the same day as 2 other movies in the genre?
I don't know. Guess I don't know anything about this stuff.
The third movie's a little less of a horror movie, but it's got horror elements to it. But I included it because the trailer was fun. It's called I Don't Understand You. It stars Nick Kroll and a guy named Andrew Rannells, who I know his face, but I don't know. I couldn't point him out of a. Yeah, it looks like a dark comedy where misunderstandings and accidents lead to unintentional killing sprees, which is one of my favorite genres. Stranded in rural Italy. Boy,
Rural.
we're saying rural Italy back to back is tough.
How about the rural juror?
The rural juror. Stranded in rural Italy without transportation or language skills, an American couple on the verge of adopting tries to reconnect during a disastrous vacation as their fears and relationship problems threaten to boil over. So it's like a dark comedy, but I saw the trailer and then like they accidentally start killing people.
It happens.
Yeah, and it looked pretty good.
Ooh, see, that sounds right up my alley too. I will see that one. You guys let me know how the other two are.
I would definitely pick the shark one over the other two.
I would take the shark one, yeah.
And The Ritual definitely finishes third because I've just seen too many exorcism movies and they're all the same. And this one's basically telling me it's going to be the same. Plus Al Pacino in 2025.
He's still alive.
Oh, he's going to be the old priest, right?
No, he's going to be the young priest. They de-aged him and they aged up Dan Stevens. It just feels wildly unnecessary.
He's going to be the kid who's possessed. That's what I heard.
Do you think we'll get any classic Pacino lines in there to the demon? It seems like he's more subdued in this one, but I would love it if he was just like out there doing Pacino.
Pacino-isms.
Yeah. It has a great ass.
That's why he's so little.
He says that to the demon.
Yep. Who I think is a teenage girl.
Oh, right.
I'd love that to be in the movie.
Of course. I want to see an exorcism movie where like it's the priest that's possessed and the teenage girl has to do the exorcism.
I feel like there was a little of that in...
There has to be, right?
No, not really. Not like that. There's never been an unqualified teenage girl curing a priest of...
I mean, what qualifications do you really need?
I like it. That's what I mean. I like it. I think there's a little of the priest getting possessed in Ken's favorite movie with Russell Crowe.
Oh, where he rides the Vespa across Italy?
Yes.
I never saw that one.
Vespa Priest. That's what it's called.
Vespa Priest.
Pudgy Vespa Priest.
With an accent that's Australian.
Priest in the first Exorcist. He got possessed right at the end.
Isn't it the Pope's Exorcist?
That is what it's called. Yes, I couldn't remember the name.
Pete said that. I think you didn't hear him.
Oh, no, I never listened to him.
Yeah, because we were talking about a Vespa.
Yeah, I was trying to make a Pudgy Vespa Priest joke. And I nailed it.
You did. Good job. We have been ignoring Pete fantastically.
He's not, I can't see him on the screen, so I just pretend he's not there. It's real easy.
I see how this is going to be.
Now, if you were paying attention, Pete, that's 3 movies coming out June 6th, and the next one I have listed doesn't come out till June 20th. Just move one of your movies to the next week.
What is happening? Okay.
So June 13th has nothing horror-related coming out in theaters. Just move your movie. Just move the Shark movie.
Yeah. Closer to Shark Week.
Let me see if there's anything. This is going to drive you nuts. There's nothing on July 6th. So they could have just put it out that day.
Okay, that is just... I don't know what... Maybe... I don't know. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
I understand why they didn't choose to put it that week, but we'll get there in 2 movies. Because there's a good reason not to put a shark-eating movie in the week of Shark Week this year. But we're 2 movies away from that. So first, on June 20th, we have the long-awaited sequel. Everybody loves a sequel to, I guess it's a sequel to 28 Weeks Later, technically. But 28 Years Later comes out. Directed by Danny Boyle, written by Alex Garland. Starring Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jodie Comer, and Ralph Fiennes. It's a good cast. Did anybody ever see 28 Days Later?
Was that a zombie one?
Yeah. With Cillian Murphy.
Well, isn't it just a bunch of decomposed bodies 28 years later?
I don't know. I don't know what their plan is. I like that they
just like not moving or doing anything. They're all just piles.
I like that they returned to it. The original writer and director returned to it 28 years later.
Yeah.
That's cool. A group of survivors of the rage virus live. This I didn't write this. So I'm going to read this exactly as it says, so you can see how hard writing is for some people. A group of survivors of the rage virus lives on a small island. When one of the group leaves the island on a mission into the mainland, he discovers secrets wonders, and horrors that have mutated not only the infected, but other survivors. I don't know. It'll probably be good because Danny Boyle's a good director.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds fine.
How was 28 weeks later? I never saw that one.
I never saw it either. He didn't make it, so I didn't care.
Nobody knows.
Also, Pete, it'll drive you nuts. It did not come out 28 weeks later after 28 days later.
That's stupid then. What's the point?
It was like 3 years. Like, who cares? That's so many weeks later. That's like 162 weeks later. It's nonsense.
It's too many weeks.
Too many weeks.
No, I guess the rage virus would be different. So hypothetically, the ragers could still be alive. I like the idea of the survivors mutating due to it. So could be good.
Pete, we hear you. We just don't care. You're throwing these punchlines in for yourself, and nobody's reacting.
Rage, get it? They're Hulks.
And you're talking at the same time Kitty is, but since these aren't individual tracks, I always pick who says the most interesting thing, and you've been like for the century on this.
It's just going to be a Bryan and Kitty podcast.
Well,
I've got some of that rage virus now.
He tried twice. He tried twice to throw in his Hulk joke, and we no-sold it both times. And it's like, it's not even going to end up on the podcast.
Well, now it has to.
We'll see if I can figure out a way to put it on there.
I want to make you guys look up my nostrils so you can see that I'm still here. I'm here and I'm a person. I'm about to be a Hulk.
I am a human being. Okay, we have the movie that Pete's most anticipating. Oh, wait, we haven't been doing who Jack Black plays in any of these movies.
Oh, dang.
Is he in any of them?
Jack Black is definitely the possessed little girl in The Ritual.
Yeah.
He's one of the sharks in Dangerous Animals, mocap.
Yeah.
He's the hungriest shark. And he's a waiter who accidentally gets murdered in the trailer for I Don't Understand You. So I think that's what he plays. And 28 years later, he's on a rage virus, but his rage is rock and roll.
Oh, yes. He's one of the mutated ones.
Yes, he mutated he mutated more beard.
His body's covered in beards.
Last year we did this. We were trying to figure out what the twist in all the movies is. This time it's who Jack Black plays.
Yes.
Well, the movie that Pete's most looking forward to on June 27th in theaters everywhere, Megan 2.0.
Is this Mithrigan 2.0?
Yes, M. Thregan 2.0. 2 years after
Jack Black's going to be M. Thregan.
2 years after M. Thregan's rampage, her creator Gemma resorts to resurrecting her infamous creation in order to take down Amelia, the military-grade weapon who was built by a defense contractor who stole M. Thregan's underlying tech. It brings back the director and all the stars and all the pieces that make up Pete's favorite movie, M. Thregan.
I want to see this second one. I think I said that before. It's made the horrible sin of being entertaining in the trailer. I don't want to give credit to me Thregan, but man, I want to see that movie.
If I was going to cast Jack Black in this movie, and believe me, I wouldn't, he would be Amelia, the military.
I was just thinking.
Yeah, I agree.
And then you got the rebuilt M. Thregan having to fight Jack Black.
Yes.
And there's lots of Jack Black. We're getting close to my bumps.
Can't you imagine the trailer where they're like, they've built the ultimate killing machine, and then Jack Black does like a really bad like somersault and then farts.
Yeah, or like just ninja moves.
Yeah, like when Chris Farley was a ninja. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the reason that it wouldn't be good to put Dangerous Animals in theaters in early July is that on July 2nd, Jurassic World Rebirth comes out. The seventh Jurassic Park movie somehow.
Yeah, that's right. I kind of want to see that one.
Because, as you said, Scarlett Johansson's looking hot again. Because she turned 40. I solved why it was. Because we only like older women now.
That must have been it.
We've discovered this after Michelle Pfeiffer in that Ant-Man movie and Demi Moore in The Substance. We just like old ladies now.
No, yeah, but you should, when you're saying old women, you should be bumping it to women that are older than you at this point, right?
We should be bumping it to old women that are older than us.
And you know what this means is that Pete, my husband, thinks I'm ugly now.
No, I'm saying 40 is finally legal. So Scarlett Johansson's finally legal, and she's looking good now.
It's directed by Gareth Edwards of Rogue One and Godzilla 2014. So we'll get some of his patented ground level staring up at giant things shots. I'm sure of it.
How else are you going to know they're big?
Let's read the synopsis here. 5 years post Jurassic World Dominion, a movie that nobody remembers, an expedition braves
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. The Minion?
Dominion.
Dominion. Oh, not the Minion. Okay.
Yeah, the minions are running around.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I would have watched that. I didn't know I missed it. Okay.
I would watch that too.
That sounds fantastic.
Between the minions,
Yeah.
Chris Pratt, and I'm guessing Jack Black in some form, you'd have the ultimate cartoon
Right?
Jurassic Park movie.
That's on the list of movies that need to be made.
5 years post Jurassic World Dominion, an expedition braves isolated equatorial regions to extract DNA from 3 massive prehistoric creatures for a groundbreaking medical breakthrough. So that actually has a plot that makes sense as to why someone's going to the island for the first time since the first movie. Because if they can cure cancer, you risk your life to do it. So I give them some credit for figuring out like a reason for somebody to finally be going back to one of these places that makes any sense at all.
I think Jack Black's going to be the dinosaur.
I think he's going to be the DNA. They're going to stick a dinosaur with a needle, and out of it will come a little Jack Black doing a dance with
Doing the dance.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be one of the scientists that's gathering.
Pete, what are you doing
Whatever.
to make all that noise?
I'm trying to find my phone charger.
He's rolling around.
I can block all this out.
You can mute it and then you fix it when you...
That too.
You told me not to because it makes a clicky sound.
I don't really think of Jurassic Park as a horror movie, like within that. It's a monster movie.
Yeah, monster movies are the same.
Yeah, I
Monster
don't see it
movies
as
count.
like. But-
He's afraid of hearing the clicking sound, but we're hearing him rummaging through boxes.
Yeah.
That's right.
On July 11th, we have a movie that defies understanding. It's set around for a couple years now, but it's coming out. It's called Skill House, and it's a dark satire of social media and influencer culture, an unflinching take on fame and what new celebrities are willing to do to attain it. Basically, this influencer horror movie thing has just been happening for years now, where they make them the targets, and that's fine, but they're all the same. And this one sounds and looks the most the same that a movie could be.
Wait, wasn't there one
influencers.
last year that I hated? That was like
Probably.
the girl cut off her own toe or something like that. I don't remember.
All these influencers get brought to a location, and then they have to perform tasks to get more followers, and then the lowest follower count gets killed. I've seen this movie a dozen times already, but have I seen it starring 50 Cent? Not yet.
That's our big draw. Or Jack Black. You haven't seen it with him yet.
He's playing 50 Cent. It's going to be very controversial.
I like that idea. This is basically reality TV, but they're just going to pretend that they're just killing someone instead of making them leave the island
which
or whatever.
Which again sounds like a good idea, but I've seen it a dozen times and it has not been yet.
Mm-hmm.
So stop making this
played
movie.
out. Yeah.
Stop making this movie. Any thoughts on that, Pete?
I've only seen one, and I thought it was great.
Which one?
That's strange.
great.
That's not what this is. Like, it's
I
not.
don't want to see it.
This is take the most vapid, one-dimensional characters because it's got a clown on the people that are influencers, and they're all like hot teens and early 20s, and then they put them in a house and they murder them, and that sounds fun, but because the characters are all the same, it's never fun.
You can't tell any of them apart, and you don't care that they're gone.
No, you hate every one of them, and like you're supposed to hate every one of them, and it doesn't work. It fundamentally misses the point of what makes movies work. But 50 Cent's there, and we're gonna like him.
Although if they did do it and had like the kids influencers, like the ones that do the videos,
like the classic OJ book, If I Did It.
yes, like that one. But if they had like what is it, Blippi and Mariah Elizabeth, and I don't know, there's a bunch of other ones.
YouTubers.
Yeah, YouTubers.
Like direct parodies of the ones, that they actually exist.
They might be.
Yeah.
How would I know? They might be.
Well, if it was just the kids ones as opposed to like, the other ones that are really vapid. So
This movie sounds like a classic movie that needs to be punched up with Jack Black's inclusion.
Well, he's
would
playing
make this
50
a
Cent
better
in
movie.
blackface.
If he was for real, that would make this a more watchable movie.
Actually, isn't the controversial part? The controversial part is he didn't shave his beard for it. And nobody's ever seen Fiddy with a beard.
Well.
He can't grow on because he got shot.
Yeah, that's right. He got shot in the beard.
right in the beard growing gene.
They shot his beard off. That's Jack Black's biggest nightmare. His career would be ruined. On July 18th, we have a movie that I predicted will be the end of this horror boom.
All right.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh,
As soon as they announced it, I thought, yeah, that makes sense. Scream hit big. All these horror movies are doing better in theaters than like in years. They're all overdoing the projections. And then they announced that, and I went, and it's here to kill the genre again.
That's what it did the first go round.
It's exactly what it did the first go round. Scream came out, was brilliant. A couple people tried to make movies that were similarly clever, and the next year, I Know What You Did Last Summer popped out and said, "What if we didn't try that?" And then we just got a bunch of. It's the Friday the 13th to Halloween, where Halloween's a masterpiece. Friday the 13th is like a kind of fun movie, but it dumbed it down so much that everybody's like, "Oh, we don't have to try that hard." And then you just got a decade of people not trying that hard. I Know What You Did Last Summer did the same thing, and I'm worried it's going to happen again because it has the dumbest plot ever. Because the same exact thing happens, and then they turn to the people that did it last time for help. So they accidentally murder somebody in the same town, cover it up. The Gorton's fisherman comes back with his fish hook.
yay!
And they go to Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt for help because I guess everybody knows they murdered a guy.
They all know what they did that summer a long time ago.
Yeah.
Everyone knows. That's what it should be called. Everyone knows what you did that summer 30 years ago. A group of friends is terrorized by a stalker who knows about a gruesome incident from their past. Yeah, that's the plot of the first one. I didn't like the first one, even though it had a pretty great cast.
And the fisherman. The
Gorton's fisherman.
Guy.
And he's back in his slicker and his
Thank
hook.
God.
And he's played by Jack Black.
I'm gonna give you this note.
It's easy to identify because he's got an extra large slicker on.
Right.
And he's got a hook in one hand and holding a fish in the other.
In my head, he's already doing that. Like, that's just what he wears out.
And his beard, it's supposed to be covered in a shroud his face, but his beard's sticking out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like,
And then they cut to town hall meetings, and he's there with his giant beard going, I don't know, this guy seems pretty serious. And then he farts. That's...
And then somersaults away.
I don't know if I'm changing Pete's opinion on this Jack Black thing or if I'm changing my own opinion, because these
you're
sound
changing
awesome.
your own opinion. This is awesome.
Well, I'm going to say this movie's coming to theaters on July 25th, but it's been moved so many times I can't tell you for a fact that's true. Bambi the Reckoning, part of the Poonaverse.
Poonaverse?
The Poonaverse.
What is that?
It's not what you think. No, they made a movie called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and then the same guy and people keep making new installments with different IPs that are now public domain, and they're putting them all together eventually into the Poonaverse universe movie. Ooh, they didn't even call it the Poonaverse universe, and they should. That's amazing.
Universe.
Universe.
There's like a Poonaverse Assemble movie coming out at some point with Peter Pan and Bambi and
the new
Winnie
Avengers.
the Pooh. And it's basically an Avengers movie. The poster looks just like it, but we've been waiting for this one for like a year.
Have any of these been at all good?
The Peter Pan one was not bad, and it was the best of the bunch because it tried something completely different, and it made the characters from Peter Pan just part of like a serial killer's elaborate sickness. And it was more interesting than trying to be like, yeah, there's Peter Pan characters killing people. Yeah. It's just a sick person that it used some of the imagery and names you'd know to kind of be almost interesting. It wasn't great, but it was way better than the Winnie the Pooh ones.
Okay.
What about Steamboat Willie? Does that?
There's 5 movies, Mickey Mouse slasher movies out there. I covered all of them. The Screamboat wasn't bad. The other four were 2 of them were terrible, 2 of them were pretty bad, and one of them I thought was like, it's actually pretty good. So 1 for 5.
All right.
And let's see the plot here. After a mother and son get in a car wreck, they soon become hunted by Bambi, a mutated, grief-stricken deer on a deadly rampage seeking revenge for the death of his mother.
Jack Black.
I'll watch it. He's Bambi, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds fine, but...
I don't know.
They just haven't been good, but...
I've seen deer beat up people, and they're pretty... they're good at it, but...
But have you seen a deer mutated into Jack Black?
Not yet. I guess that'd be scary. But like, if I was a person and a deer was trying to hunt me, I would just stay in my car.
Yeah, it's like the Jaws thing, where just stay out of the water and you've defeated Jaws.
But
Yeah.
this one's mutated. And
Yeah, we don't know in what
turtles,
way.
Yeah. Stay out of
turtles
the
are pretty
swimming
weak
pool.
on their own. But once they get mutated, they are a force to be reckoned with. And when they hit their
Well,
teenage years, oh boy.
Ready for the next one?
fail.
They're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, goddammit.
In theaters, are you still talking?
Yeah, he is.
In
Go.
theaters, August 1st, Together, starring Dave Franco and Allison Brie. A couple's move to the countryside triggers a supernatural incident that drastically alters their relationship, existence, and physical form. It's a body horror movie about a couple that becomes too dependent on each other.
Is Nick Cage there?
No, Jack Black is. He's
Oh,
playing.
okay.
Go ahead.
Didn't they get in trouble for like stealing this script? I heard they were getting sued.
Maybe.
Yeah, like it was a ripped off almost whole cloth from a different movie.
The trailer looks like they start getting stuck together in places, and I think that their final form is, of course, Jack Black.
Struggled.
That's the twist at the end. That is Jack Black. So now we've worked in what we did last year and what we're doing this year.
We have a more children's-based horror movie, it looks like, coming out on August 6th in theaters. It's called Sketch. Still reeling from the unexpected loss of his wife. Maybe it's not for kids. Well, that's all Disney movies, right?
Yeah.
Still reeling from the unexpected loss of his wife, a single dad navigates uncharted territory when his daughter's comically dark scribbled drawings begin to come to life and wreak havoc on their small town. Starring Buster from Arrested Development
Oh
and
my God.
Darcy Carden from The Good Place.
All right. I want to see it because of
My man.
the actors. Yeah.
His name is Tony Hale. I shouldn't just call him Buster. And you'll never guess. You'll never guess, guys. I'll let you both take a try at it. Kitty goes first, Pete goes second. You'll never guess what one of her sketches is.
Jack Black.
Oh my God, you got it.
I knew it. He just goes into town and starts eating everything.
Yeah, he's like in the Ghostbusters reboot where they have the ghost they let out that eats all the metal.
Yeah.
It's the same one. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
except it's played. I think that might have been Jack Black too, actually.
So I think Pete, do you remember the kids movie When We Were Heroes? Or
I think Jack Black is going to be a neighbor.
you're good at listening.
What are you talking about now? It's a movie?
That movie, the kids movie, We Were Heroes or something.
I know what you're saying. I'm trying to think of it now. It's got
The singing
we
girl.
we can be heroes. It's the
Right.
David Bowie song that they then cover terribly.
Yes. Okay. But anyway, the villain is this girl who draws things and then they pops them out and they come to life. So, yeah. Well, this movie is going to be that with Jack Black.
Man,
All right.
Buster Bluth
And
And
Bluth.
Buster.
and somebody else, but I forgot.
Darcy Carden.
I like Darcy Carden.
Stop whatever you're doing that's moving around, Pete.
I'm not doing anything. I'm laying still.
Is it me?
That might be you. Are you banging that table or something?
Maybe.
August
Strike
8th.
two.
On August 8th, we have Weapons. When all but one child from the same class mysteriously vanish on the same night at exactly the same time, a community is left questioning who or what is behind their disappearance. Now, there was apparently a bidding war for this. He took all the kids. Apparently, there was a crazy bidding war for this script. And when Jordan Peele lost it, he fired his entire management team.
Oh,
So there was like a $35 million buy-in for this script. And Zach Kreger, the director of Barbarian, got it for his follow-up to Barbarian. And Kreger describes it as an epic horror movie taking inspiration from Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia. I couldn't be more in.
I don't remember Magnolia.
I love
remember
Magnolia.
Tom Cruise and frogs, and it rains frogs.
You remember it then. It stars Julia Garner and Josh Brolin. And Jack Black probably is the teacher who loses all the kids. That's got to be right.
Yeah, it sounds right.
That's got to be right.
Yeah, okay.
With the budget that high just for the script, this seems like it's got to become a big hit in order to break even.
Yeah, I think it's going to be bloated.
Yeah, Jack Black's the teacher.
Yeah. Ha. That's mean.
That's mean? I've been doing that the whole podcast.
No, I mean it's going to be incredibly disappointing if it's bad.
I think the best advertising they have is that Jordan Peele fired his management team for losing the bidding war.
That's what hooked me into it. So it's either going to be fantastic or a giant letdown.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
And it's not even because Peele didn't write the script. So, Peele writes his own stuff. He was that interested in the script. That's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I never saw Barbarian, so I have no idea how
It's
this
fun.
guy.
I think it's a bit overrated. The thing with Barbarian is it was a mainstream movie that kind of did fun stuff that independent movies do. But if you watch a lot of independent horror like I do, it wasn't doing anything that new. But people hadn't seen it on a larger scale, so they were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe these twists!" And it's like, I guess I see these all the time. But it was still good.
Break them in.
Justin Long's in it. How bad could it be? And creepy Skarsgård.
Ooh, he's the creepiest of the Skarsgårds.
Oh, he's the one that took the kids.
Creepy Skarsgård.
Yeah.
And Jack Black's got to get him back, like in School of Rock.
Is that the plot of School of Rock?
So
Jack Black is the kid that got left behind.
Yeah, because he's mentally challenged.
Is that really the case in the movie, or
I've never seen?
Okay.
I try to avoid Jack Black movies is a rule, but especially ones people tell me are good because I don't want to change my opinion.
No, I'm asking about the kid that gets left behind in this movie because you said all the school children get taken.
That'd be funny.
Except the defective one.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
That wasn't my joke. I'm not taking ownership.
On August 15th, we have a movie called Jimmy and Stiggs. In a shitstorm of bad news. Nope, try that again. A shitstorm of bad news sends out-of-work filmmaker... Let me try that one more time. A shitstorm of bad news sends out-of-work filmmaker Jimmy spiraling into... No, I can't read today.
All right, it's Jimmy, and he's spiraling.
A shitstorm of bad news sends out-of-work filmmaker Jimmy spiraling into an out-of-control bender in which he claims to have been abducted by aliens. Fearing they'll come back, he contacts his old friend Stiggs to help him gear up for war. It's directed by a guy named Joe Bagos, who makes fun independent movies. He made Christmas Bloody Christmas, which I might pick for Christmas this year because I forgot to do it last year. And VFW, that one where Rutger Hauer and a bunch of old people have to fight off people at a...
I haven't seen it. I think it's got Crease from...
Yeah, it does. So he makes fun movies, and preparing for an alien war with two idiots sounds great. I don't know. The question is here, obviously, is Jack Black Jimmy, or is he Stiggs? Or is he an alien?
Oh, man.
I
guess we'll have to laugh and find out.
An out-of-work filmmaker. That sounds like it could be Jack Black.
Could.
Because he was a filmmaker in King Kong, remember?
Yeah, but the name Stiggs.
It does sound like a role that's made for...
Sounds like a Jack Black role.
An alien.
But an alien. Also on August 15th, we have Witchboard, a reimagining of the 1986 horror classic. That is the entire synopsis I have for the movie, except that the little teaser trailer for it said, from horror legend Chuck Russell. Does anybody know who Chuck Russell is? That's what I said.
Yes.
So I looked it up. He directed A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 and The Blob almost 40 years ago. I couldn't find anything of note for the last 40 years.
So there's like literally no plot or...
Well, I think the plot of the original was that somebody uses a witchboard. They draw forth like some evil entity that hurts their life or something.
Is a witchboard? Is that like a...
it's like a Ouija board.
But Ouija board has the license and trademark, so I guess they couldn't pony up to Milton Bradley for the Ouija board rights. Witchboard.
The original starred Julian Sands, who, if you'd like a quick update on Julian Sands,
dead.
He is dead. He went hiking in one of them deserts and was found a month later.
I remember that. Ooh, that was sad. I'm sad now.
I'm trying to think because I don't think they're usually called witch boards, the Ouija boards. They're called something else. Before they were known as Ouija boards. They're like talking boards. So I don't know. No, I said talking boards. But all right, whatever. The witch board. Makes me think of like
Witchblade?
No. A skateboard. For witches.
I don't think there's any witches in Witchboard.
That's what I want to see. A bunch of witches on skateboards who come terrorize towns and children.
We already saw a movie with a vampire on a skateboard, and it was a great one.
Yes. See? We got to combine things with skateboards and cool Hawaiian shirts.
That was A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night for anybody who has not seen it. It's a masterpiece.
Mm-mm.
On August 20th, a movie that Pete actually is looking forward to after I played this prank so many times, Hell House LLC Lineage.
I want to see it.
There's no plot, but it's the 5th movie in the Hell House series.
It has been.
And
It's never slowed them down.
It'll go to Shudder later this year. But the last one genuinely frightened me, sitting in my room watching it with the lights on. So I really am looking forward to going to see this one in the theater.
With the lights on?
Yeah, I was just sitting there in the middle of like a Sunday afternoon watching the movie. And it got to me.
Is this the one that you watched one and Pete watched the other one?
That's correct.
Okay.
Anybody who didn't hear that episode and the episodes before it, I kept telling him I saw this movie, Hell House LLC Origins, and it genuinely frightened me. And he's like, oh, that sounds good. And then he's like, oh, I watched it. It was really good. And then I said, yeah, remember this part? Remember this part? And he kept saying yes. And he watched a completely different movie.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to.
There were clowns and hotels in both movies.
Yes, that's true. I'm sure there will be in this one too. And I don't know anything about this movie except that I bet I'm going to be afraid watching it in the theater. And I haven't been afraid in public in a long time. Probably since the first time I saw The Exorcist.
I think you would like these movies, Kitty, but there are a lot of strobes going on because it's a haunted house, attraction.
I don't think there was at Origins though.
Yeah, you're right. Origins doesn't. So,
and that's the one that really got to me. Where I was just like, "Holy shit!" I'm getting actually like really frightened by this. I actually paused it. Like, I'm getting scared right now.
That's like when Pete paused the one movie. He's like, "Oh, did you make a noise?" Because he was scared and he needed a break.
The movie is intense.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, I know. But if Brian got scared watching a movie, why the hell would I watch it? That just sounds like there's no way I should be doing that.
Because I wasn't scared by it. Because I was annoyed by the people. And then they've grown on me, though.
Yeah, I wasn't annoyed by those people at all. I thought they were really good characters. And fuck, it got, like, you just know they're going to be there for 5 days. And it was around night 3. I was just like, this isn't going to stop. Like, we're just going to have 2. I was like, I have 2 more nights of this. And every night I've been more frightened than the last. And I was like, I've not had that happen in a movie in so long. Yeah. It seems almost impossible to happen because I just watched too many. And it happened, and I was just like, oh no, I can't keep watching this movie. And then I had to, and I was very frightened little boy.
Aww.
We're never going to watch parts 2 and 3 because
no, who cares?
The rumor on the street says they're pretty bad. So I'm going to see the next one. So we'll be at 1, 4, and 5 for the series.
No, I'll watch 5. You watch 2.
And then we'll do a podcast about it.
And then we'll do a podcast about it.
I have the feeling yours might be better.
I think you might be right because I think he really nailed something in this last go around of how to make it legitimately terrifying.
Get rid of all the excess of part 2 and 3, and he's like, "Oh yeah, let's go back to doing the stuff we did in part 1."
I liked part 1 a lot, but it's louder than 4 is, and the quietness is what makes 4 so unsettling. I'm guessing 2 and 3 are even louder than 1. That'd be my guess.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and then he just made it very, like, not slow, but like quiet, and every little creak and noise is like, fuck, those clowns are somewhere. That creepy girl in the mask is somewhere. I don't want to be in this house anymore. And when they decide to stay for 2 more nights, I'm like, why would you do this to me? It was when the brother's just giving a talking head in his room. He's talking to the camera. And I'm like, just get out of this house, man. And I was like, oh my God, I turned into like a first-time movie watcher. Just yelling at the screen to get out of the house.
I was watching Kitty, you shouted at the other day. Oh yeah, it was Return of the Living Dead.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah. When they're going to the phone to call for help, and the zombie jumps in through the window.
Yeah.
And Pete had his head in my lap, and I just got surprised, and I was like, "Oh!" And Pete flipped up off the couch.
He told me that. Yeah. Pete, do you want to do your quick Nick Cage nonsense so we can get it out of the way?
You just rolled your eyes so hard.
This one's a good one.
You say that before every one of them.
I mean, this is a good break as we're going through the movies this summer. So, go ahead, Pete.
This one is just for you because I know like you're all into yoga and stuff. So this is all about the elements. And do you know that Nicolas Cage, he once tried to explore all of the elements, like to experience them. Like for instance, he took up spelunking, and he was a spelunker to really feel the element of earth and connect to it. For water, he did scuba diving. And one time, he looked at a great white shark that was like in the water with him, and he looked it in the eye, and he's like, that's a female. And then when he got out of the boat, they told him it was, and he was right. He just made that connection because he was so in tune with the element of water. then for fire, he did the movie Ghost Rider and Ghost Rider 2. There was a lot of fire. So he was very in tune with the fire element for the Ghost Rider movies.
That one
And
seems
then,
like a cop out.
no, there's a lot of fire. Ghost Rider's a burning skeleton on a motorcycle, and his motorcycle's fire too.
He could
There's
have
the
walked on
opposite.
hot coals or something.
He probably did. He
Okay,
probably did.
go
He
on.
made the ground hot. Anyway, well, he never got to air. So, but you're thinking
Jesus
about
Christ. He was in Con Air.
Yeah, close enough.
Look, I'm not the one who made this list. He did. He's the one who made it, not me. This is how he experienced the elements and explored them. Hang gliding is what he would have done for air, though. And you never know. He might get around to it.
Well, that's been our Nick Cage update.
Oh, good.
No, that's a knick-knack fact for you guys.
It's a thing.
A Ben Grimm?
Fact, Jack.
A Jack Black fact?
Jack, that's a Jack Black fact. Wait, no. There's no way to do this.
A
Okay.
fact, Jack Black.
Hey.
Jack Fact Black.
Just the facts, Jack Black.
Not the fact, Jack Black.
We're up to August 22nd, when the movie Shelby Oaks comes to theaters. A woman's desperate search for her long-lost sister falls into obsession upon realizing that the imaginary demon from their childhood may have been real. I can't get a read on that at all.
I don't know. I thought the title was for like a retirement facility.
Maybe it is.
So
Maybe it's the one.
okay, because then I was thinking it was the name of one of the ladies, but maybe not. One of the ladies is Jack Black, though. Are we right? Am I way off here?
He's
Or
clearly
is
the
it
childhood demon. Yeah.
He's the demon. Okay.
That they thought was imaginary. It's a Drop Dead Fred movie
Oh, okay.
with the most annoying person they can find to play Drop Dead Fred, which is, unsurprisingly, Jack Black.
What's the original guy?
Some, like, Australian comedian or something. The only thing I know about that movie is that Phoebe Cates is in it. Because
I was
I
just
like
going to
Phoebe
ask
Cates.
who are the leads in it. Okay.
That was
Oh
Phoebe
no, not
Cates.
that movie, but
Oh, this one I don't know.
Yeah.
I could have.
Okay.
I would have written
Shelby.
it down if there was anybody we knew.
Shelby and Oaks.
I only wrote them down when they were like people we knew. So
Oh, okay.
I'm sure I looked at it and just was like, don't know who that is.
Is
It's
Shelby
kinda
and Oates
interesting
the parody
sounding.
band of Hall and Oates?
Try again, Pete. What?
Is Shelby and Oates the parody band of Hall and Oates?
It's Shelby and
Shelby.
Oaks. Okay. Never mind. I take it back. Don't try again. On August 29th, we finally have the release of The Toxic Avenger.
Yes, with Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage, Kevin Bacon, Elijah Wood, Jane Levy, and Jacob Tremblay. An all-star cast.
I
He
know. That's
sounds
why
great.
I am worried that it's going to be awful.
It's got great reviews because the movie's been in festivals for 2 years.
Okay.
And people were like, this has to come out. It's way better than you'd think it is. A horrible toxic accident transforms downtrodden janitor Winston Goose, oh, this is perfect, into a new evolution of hero, the Toxic Avenger. I can't wait.
That
Me
is
neither.
clearly Jack Black.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage turns into Jack Black.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen Peter Dinklage in something that I didn't like.
Well, we're going to test that theory in a little bit.
Why?
I can't tell you. It's a surprise.
Oh, yay. Okay. What's next?
Next in theaters on September 5th, The Conjuring Last Rites.
How many movies are in that universe now?
Too many. This will be the 4th Conjuring movie, I think. And there's 3 Annabelles and 2 nuns and
Partridge in a
Partridge in a
Pear
Pear Tree.
a La
Get out of
Llorona.
my head.
Get out of my brain, Charles.
I'm the juggernaut, bitch.
Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren take on one last terrifying case involving mysterious entities they must confront. That tells me nothing, except it's their last case. That's what I know. Directed by Michael Chavez, who has made a few of these movies
Chavez.
in the Conjuring universe, and they usually are somewhere in the middle quality-wise. I looked them up. So he doesn't make the worst ones, but he doesn't make the best ones. So I would expect this to be fine.
I saw the first and second Conjuring movies, and I one of the Annabelles.
Conjuring 1 is, I think, great.
Yeah.
Conjuring 2, people like it. I just didn't feel it
Didn't
as
care
much.
for it.
Conjuring 3 was fine. It was more fun than 2 was, but it's probably not as good of a movie, but I enjoyed it more.
Right.
And Annabelle 1 is terrible. Annabelle, the one that goes back in time, is a prequel. I thought that one was really good. And then the third Annabelle is more like a Conjuring movie, and I thought that was actually pretty fun too. And the Nun 1 is a disaster. And the Nun 2 is pretty good. So like none of these movies, except for maybe the first Conjuring, I think are like legitimately great. But most of them are fun. They've made so much money in this series, though. It's unbelievable. Like
That's why they keep making them.
The Nun movies cost like $15 million to make, and they always make like $300 million. I'm like, why do these Nun movies make so much? Because the first one was terrible.
I don't know.
Are these all the James Wong movies?
Oh no! What a callback to make. The
Lord.
the first Nun movie. The problem with it is, I feel like they made the movie, watched it, and said, "Oh, this isn't scary at all. There's not one scary moment in this movie." So what they had to do was go and play with the audio. So all the jump scares are just, we got super loud out of nowhere. And it's the most annoying way to watch a movie.
Oh.
And I'm watching it like at night. I keep turning it down because every time something happens, it's just like the loudest thing you've ever heard. And then it goes back to quiet talking. And it's so annoying.
Yeah. Annoying? That sounds terrifying.
But then the Nun 2 was way better because it was a competently made film. Maybe made by this guy. I don't really remember. Then on September 12th, we have The Long Walk. This is the last one I have on the list because the next time we'll pick up with the spooky season. September 12th, The Long Walk. A group of teenage boys, calm down, Pete. A group of teenage boys compete in an annual contest known as The Long Walk, where they must maintain a certain walking speed or get shot. Starring Mark Hamill and Judy Greer.
I like both those people.
Neither one of those are boys.
They're not teenage boys.
No.
Directed by Francis Lawrence, who looks to have directed most of the Hunger Games movies, as well as Constantine and I Am Legend. And it's based on a Stephen King story with a screenplay by J.T. Molnar, who was nominated for a Scareville Award just last year for his Strange Darling screenplay. So that's fun.
I just read that book not too long ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd never read it before. I've had it sitting on my Stephen King shelves for a while, so I just picked it up because it's a shorter read. It was pretty good. It's early King stuff.
I like J.T. Molnar's script, obviously, from last year, so I'm excited that might be good. Cast is a little weird, I guess. Mark Hamill and Judy Greer.
Yeah, I mean, they must be shooting people or something.
Yeah, it's like a weird dystopian future, and kids of a certain, not a lot goes into it, but basically it's an honor to take part in this walk, and if you're the winner, you get everything, but it's some way it's entertainment, like you're on TV, and you just walk as long as you can, and if you slow down too much, you get shot. You can't ever stop, and you just go until you die and go insane. So
what an honor.
That's
yeah, I'll pass.
And somehow it's entertainment.
They lost me at walk, and then they got to a long walk. You could keep your honor. Now, last year when we did this, here were the movies that we covered. So tell me, Pete, how many of these you remember? Because Kitty will just remember them because she's got a regular human brain.
We did that before.
Okay, yep. In a Violent Nature.
That's the one where the serial killer's point of view.
That's right. You never saw it, but that's good. No. The Watchers. That was the one made by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter.
Oh. The one who's a pop singer?
We'll get to that one. A Quiet Place Day One.
I saw that one.
I remember that.
Maxine.
I never saw that.
We didn't watch that.
No, it was very disappointing.
I know. I still want to watch it, though.
Long Legs.
What's that
Nick
one?
Cage.
Twisters, which I still haven't seen, even though I heard it's good.
I've seen the first half hour. It was all right.
It was a movie.
Cuckoo, which was pretty good.
I didn't see that one.
Trap.
I didn't see that one.
But that's the one where we're trapped in a movie where we're watching M. Night Shyamalan's daughter do a whole lavishly produced pop concert.
That's the twist.
No, it's a different daughter.
He's got two daughters?
I don't know. Is that allowed? Mm-mm. Alien Romulus, which Kitty wanted to be an alien movie about Romulans, and after watching it, I liked it, but I thought it still would have been better with some Romulans.
Right?
I agree.
Still hold that idea.
The Crow, which was a disaster.
Never saw it.
Did we watch that?
No, the new one's terrible. Beetlejuice.
I saw that one.
Mm-hmm.
And the American remake of Speak No Evil.
I saw that one.
So that's a good look, though, at last year. That's some pretty heavy-hitting movies came out in the summer.
When did Ivy come out?
The fall of 2023 or 2024. I don't remember. I remember I got sick at the theater.
I think I'd have to like re-listen to our podcast to see what I said about the movies for last summer. But
I can tell you.
Yeah,
because I listened to it before this. Basically, I would do what I did today. I'd read the synopsis, and then both of you would try to jump the other one for what the twist of the movie was going to be, having barely listened to the description I gave.
Oh, okay. I just feel like that lineup was better than what we've got coming up for this summer.
But we wouldn't have known that last year. So that's why I think that it means there might be some good stuff in this. I think like that Weapons movie is supposed to be great. And the Toxic Avenger is supposed to be great. Weapons is the one that Jordan Peele lost the bidding war for. That's supposed to be great. Megan 2.0, obviously, 28 years later is probably going to be great. I think Dangerous Animals is going to be good. Bring Her Back's probably good. I think we might have...
I want to see really Shelby Oaks for whatever reason. So
to see if Pete's stupidity is correct. And this is a Hall & Oates prequel. His first partner, Shelby.
Yes.
No, it's actually just a movie about Oates. It's not even Oates, it's Oaks. It's
yes, I know. I'm just sitting here listening to you, and I'm like...
It's a movie about Oaks driving his Ford Shelby around.
Yes.
It's a secret prequel to that movie Ferrari or whatever. So, no, it's a secret prequel to that Matt Damon Christian Bale movie.
Days of Thunder.
Yep.
But Oaks is played by Jack Black.
Oaks is Jack Black. Shelby's also Jack Black. It's another club situation. Yeah. So what are you most looking forward to from the summer previews? I'll recap just the titles real quick. We have, if I could open my thing. That's funny. Yeah, good. We have Fear Street Prom Queen, Bring Her Back, The Ritual, Dangerous Animals, I Don't Understand You, 28 Years Later, Megan 2.0, Jurassic World Rebirth, Skill House, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Bambi the Reckoning. There's some bad ones in here too. Together, Sketch, Weapons, Jimmy and Stiggs, Witchboard, Hell House LLC Lineage, Shelby Oaks, The Toxic Avenger, The Conjuring Last Rites, The Long Walk. That is a lot of movies coming just to theaters this summer.
I'm looking forward to the shark one.
Yeah, you are.
I kind of am too. The trailer for it looks perfectly unhinged. And that's what I want to see. It's really just like a guy putting women on hooks and then feeding sharks in the ocean. I'm like, I'm into this.
Oh, weird.
It sounds like 90 minutes well.
We know what your kink is now. So
I didn't know until I saw the trailer.
Oh, okay. We all know now.
What's this kink?
Putting women on hooks and feeding them to sharks.
Yeah,
that's just normal.
Pete has a similar kink. They just have to be over 40 years old.
Hey, I'm not doing it to children.
Lucky me. All right, Pete, what one are you looking forward to?
Probably Toxic Avenger. Like that's done most realistically I'd go see in the theater, but there are a bunch of them that sound good.
It's being released unrated in theaters, which was the fight about trying to get in the theaters. They were like, we don't care. Terrifier did it. We can do it. So they did it.
Also,
so
the
there's going to be
Terrifiers.
boobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not scary boobs, I hope.
In Toxic Avenger?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Toxic ones.
That'd be a good, fun game. How many of these movies have boobs in them? Oh, wait, they all have Jack Black in them.
He'd appreciate that joke.
You're going to keep bad-mouthing him, but the thing about Jack Black is you never know where he is. He'll just appear behind you one day. He won't ever hurt you.
Oh, my God.
You might feel like that.
Look behind you.
It's actually Fred. Jack Black, you're here?
I'm going to turn on Pete's camera and see if he has his pants on.
I was just shit. I'm going outside.
I don't see anything.
Oh, you can probably turn it on your end, maybe. Maybe you can't. Maybe these are
no, because that's no. Everything's frozen. Our faces are frozen.
No.
So
I can see Fred.
Say something. Say, I'm a monster named Jack Black, and I'm here.
Oh, there you are.
You're not Jack Black? Who are you?
Oh, Kitty, did you have a list for us?
I do.
We
I was going to say that the other movie, hi honey, I'm looking forward to is that one, the Jack Black one.
say no more.
No, where the guy is the failed producer.
Oh yeah,
It's kidnapped by aliens. I'm looking forward to that one. And like I said, I want to
really
see.
not in that one.
No, but he should be. And I want to see Shelby Oaks for some weird reason.
Jack Black will be in this Christmas with Paul Rudd, the remake of Anaconda.
Oh my god!
God, I'm in.
I'm real excited about it, Pete. Do you know why?
Because Jack Black's going to play an Anaconda.
Because last
Paul
year
Rudd's there?
we had to postpone doing award shows and top 10 podcasts because I had to wait for Nosferatu to come out because it was going to be good. No similar problem this year.
You don't want to sleep on Jack Black.
I don't, although he'd be comfy probably.
The children are running around now. I guess they're going outside.
So now we're going to have something special. A quick preview of next week's episode when Ken, the foreign correspondent, will join us for our annual top 10 lists. We're doing the top 10 horror comedies of all time, and Kitty has prepared a top 10 horror comedies list.
Yeah, but I have to quickly. Okay, but I have to get rid of some. Okay, whatever. I'll cut them randomly. All right, so.
I muted Pete, so he'll be fine.
Okay. This is my top 10. I have like 2 extras, but that's okay. I've got.
Are you sure you don't want to leave one out like Ken did last year?
I don't know. I'll lose count.
When he couldn't find 6, so he just skipped it and went to 5.
I don't have them in any number order. They're just on a piece of paper. Pete wrote it down for me when I was sad. So I've got One Cut of the Dead.
Yep.
Monster Squad. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Gremlins 2. The Dead Don't Die. Violent Night. Willy's Wonderland. Obviously.
Is that a comedy? I didn't even know.
I think it is. I guess it doesn't count as a comedy. All right. All right. I'm just going to do them all. So there's Bodies, 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 which I think counts. Deadstream. What We Do in the Shadows. Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
And Onyx the Fortuitist and the Talisman of Lost Souls.
Talisman of Souls.
Of Souls.
Pete gets it wrong every time.
Yeah.
Because I know that was him getting it wrong, not you.
Right. He scribbled out Amulet and put in Talisman, but he didn't take out Lost.
No, he doesn't know the name of the movie.
Yeah.
We've been working on it for 2 years. He can't get it right.
So what do you think of... Which one of these do you think are actually comedies?
I don't know that... What was the only one I questioned?
You questioned... Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, I've never seen it, so I don't know that it's a comedy or not. But I didn't know that
kidding?
it was. I've never seen it.
Why?
I don't know.
It's the best Nick Cage movie ever.
Well, that's
right.
Okay, yeah, but you'd say that when she said any movie.
That's true.
Because they're all tied. Why you look at his little hair sticking up there? He looks like he's got like an 80s... only that when you had that little part there, it looked like you had
like
a mohawk.
Oh, yeah.
I do have a mohawk.
That is.
I can't do it. That's my mohawk. Look.
Oh boy.
It goes halfway.
Can you push any of that back?
That's what I told him to do.
Can you just cut it and glue it on there?
Yeah, he's going to grow it out and then lay it back.
I'm going to grow all of it like back out so we can do the whole thing, but I'll just have an empty spot in my male pattern baldness spot where there's no hair. But it'll be a big front mohawk and then a mohawk down the back of my head. But right at the top, nothing.
It's going away fast. I think it's because those kids keep picking at it.
Look at this thing.
They see his head and they start rubbing it and slapping it.
Yeah. Well, I think, remember, the cat used to lick his head.
That's right.
So,
see, I'm one of the
that
sharks.
spot.
I'm one of the sharks in that Shark Week movie.
I think all those were comedies.
Yeah, they count as comedies.
They're all. I have some of those on my top 10. I have some of them in my honorable mentions.
Yeah. I didn't. There was no formality to the list. It's just a list of movies. I think there were 12.
No, that's good. That's 18 less than Pete gave us last year.
I'm gonna get a top 10
14. List. I'm sorry. There's 14.
16 less than Pete gave us last year.
Yeah. He was naming off movies for me, and I was like, no.
See how easy it is, Pete? See how easy it is?
I was naming them off of my list.
Yeah.
Well, he's got some. I'll just say there's some surprises in store for you next week. But you knew that happens every time you do a podcast with Pete.
They're what?
They're
all movies.
And they're all horror comedies, and I'm going to have 10. I'm going to do it.
Well, the world will wait with bated breath.
I
don't know what that means, but I'm guessing bated breath is when you're feeding the women to the sharks.
Yes.
It's girls on fish hooks.
Girls on fish hooks. Texas Chainsaw Massacre style.
That's right.
Wet and wild, girls on fish hooks.
Yeah, so we'll see. Killer Swimming Pool movie did not work out for me. Feeding women to sharks movie, got a good feeling about this one. And I've never been wrong before.
A killer swimming pool.
In my head, it still sounds like a good premise. But nobody gets sucked through the drain. Nobody gets their hand caught in the thing and loses an arm in the
no one figures out that just don't go into the swimming pool.
It just slowly drives Wyatt Russell crazy, and like that's not the movie I want. You can do that with anything. We call it The Blender. Ooh, I gotta go. I gotta write something down real quick.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to write one about a microwave.
Yeah.
We were talking about that, but there is one already.
Was it in the 80s though? It's probably good.
Yeah, it's probably
a killer microwave. How could it be bad?
I don't know. Like exactly.
Got that gremlin, no problem.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes. His mother turns into John Wick.
That's right.
She solos 3 of those motherfuckers immediately. And that's when they're supposed to be seen as the biggest threat, because that's the first time you're really seeing them in action, and she gets 3 of them immediately.
Oh, yeah. She is John Wick.
Yeah.
I like it because
she's Joan Wick.
Joan Wick.
That's how it works. If you're a brother and a sister and one's name's John, the other one's named Joan.
What if they're twins and they have to rhyme?
I have a brother named John.
But you got another brother who wasn't named John. So that cancels out the rule.
Oh.
The rule.
It's called the Cusack rule. I didn't make it up.
If your older brother was John, you would have no choice but to name Joan.
Oh, I see. That's fair.
They probably thought they were going to have another girl at some point, and we're like, we'll have little Joan soon. Actually, I think John was called Joan for at least the first 14 years of his life.
I don't know. I called him Cookie Monster for a good length of time.
I called him Kitty's brother. Because I just learned his name was John now. In this conversation.
All right. We're going to wrap it up for this week, which Pete's parents should have done about 46 years ago.
Yeah. He's old. Wait, are you guys just turning 46?
Yeah.
I'm turning Japanese.
I mean, not just. It took us 46 years to get here.
Oh, no.
Actually, it took Pete 47. They held him back. He was left behind, too. Well, Pete, we went over this, though.
And I took summer school, and they let me catch back up.
Pete's actually closer to 50 when you put in all of the time that we spent in 1986 and the time that you guys spent running around fixing the timeline. So that's why he looks like the way he does. It's that he's not actually 45 right now. He's actually in his 50s.
He's coming to like a round point. Like, look at it. He looks like a teardrop right now.
I'm Jack Black. I'm going to cartwheel out of this room. Goodbye.
All right. We'll see you next week for the top 10 with Ken. Ooh, that rhymes.
No! I like it.
I have it written down that way, too, but I never introduced it that
way. Never said it out loud.
I don't want to use his name. We'll see you next week.
No, you do it.
The top 10 with Ken.
Top 10 with Ken. Oh. Say it in your radio voice, too.
I don't have a radio voice.
We'll make one.
Top 10 with Ken starting next week.
Is that your robot voice?
Yes.
Yes, all right.
What's the guy who died that used to do the New Year's countdown?
Hold on, I can get this one. Dick Clark.
Yeah. Do it like Dick Clark.
I don't have a Dick Clark voice.
Get one.
Because I don't remember what he sounds like. I can do Dick Clark now.
You could.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to go for this week. See you next week for the top 10 with Ken.